This year's big World Cup controversy waiting to happen is the introduction of video assistant referee. But in every tournament prior, part of the excitement has been the human errors that occur. Suitably for the biggest tournament in sport, there have been some of the biggest calls made when it comes to goals, red cards and fouls. So let's revisit some of the most famous with the top 10 most controversial World Cup moments. Number 10. Zinedine Zidane's headbutt. Zinedine Zidane had enjoyed one of the most successful professional careers in the game and was idolised as one of the greats even before he'd retired. He'd handed France a World Cup and Euros back to back, and the 2006 World Cup was supposed to be his international swan song after coming out of retirement to play. Like LeBron James dragging an inept Cavaliers side to yet another NBA Finals through sheer force of will and talent, Zizou took France to the finals but was shown a red card for headbutting Marco Materazzi in the chest, well away from where the ball was in play after the two traded barbs. The officials initially missed it, but the crowd, Italian bench and Gigi Buffon made sure they knew exactly what had happened. France lost the final, and Zidane finished his sublime international career in disgrace. Number 9. The Battle of Nuremberg. The Battle of Nuremberg sounds like a World War II tale, but while this bloody affair did happen in Germany, it was two other countries at war for the World Cup in 2006. Portugal versus the Netherlands. Portugal emerged victorious from the round of 16 game, but far from unharmed. A World Cup record was set with the 4 red cards and 16 yellows that were shown, including one for a Dutch player injuring Cristiano Ronaldo, several for a touchline melee which involved Luis Figo headbutting Mark van Bommel, and yet more for another on-field brawl. Then FIFA president Sepp Blatter said the referee should have given himself a yellow too for how poorly he'd handled the game. Number 8. Rooney's red card. Manchester United teammates Cristiano Ronaldo and Wayne Rooney were their respective nations of Portugal and England's great hopes at the 2006 World Cup. When the two met on the field in the quarter-final, in the 60th minute Rooney took on 2 players in contesting for a ball, holding both of them off but getting whistled for a stamp on Ricardo Carvalho in the process. The referee didn't go for his pocket until Ronaldo stepped in and said something, causing Rooney to shove his teammate and earn his red card. Ronaldo was caught on camera winking towards the bench as Rooney trudged off, confirming his sneaky intentions. Number 7. Henry's qualification handball. There was talk of adding a 33rd team to the 2010 World Cup. That's how controversial Ireland's elimination by France during the final game of qualifying was considered. France scored its second goal of the game from a free kick which Thierry Henry instinctively controlled with his left hand to stop it from going out of play before squaring it to William Gallas to score, which the referees missed. Henry didn't deny handling the ball after the game and expressed regret for the Irish being eliminated in the way they were, but it didn't do much for them. They demanded a replay, which wasn't given, and appealed, but FIFA simply said the referee's decision was final. Number 6. Kuwait's clout. The referee is supposed to have the final say on all matters on the pitch, but it can be pretty hard to say no to a king when he's threatening to have his team abandon the game. Sheikh Fahid Al Ahmad Al Sabah watched his side fall to a 3-1 deficit against France, who'd had another 2 goals wrongly disallowed in their first group stage game. As France streaked through on goal again, the Kuwaiti team stopped playing after hearing a whistle from the stands. France scored, and in protest the Sheikh came onto the pitch and spoke with the referee. The goal was disallowed, but France ended up scoring another anyway. It was Kuwait's first and last appearance at a World Cup finals. Number 5. Korea's officiating. On the face of it, South Korea making it all the way to the 2002 semi-finals sounds like a remarkable tale of home field advantage, but the advantage was slightly more tangible than simple home support. Throughout the tournament, the South Koreans were the beneficiaries of some suspicious officiating, most notably in their round of 16 game against Italy. They were given a baby soft penalty in the 5th minute, which was saved, but allowed to roughhouse the Italians without reprimand. They equalised to send the game into extra time near the end, when Francesco Totti was shown a yellow card, supposedly for diving, when he just tripped over his own feet 40 yards from play, and Italy had a golden goal disallowed for offside. Italy were eliminated, and the referee was investigated by FIFA, but ultimately arrested in 2010 for attempting to smuggle heroin from Ecuador into New York. Number 4. Suarez's bite. Italy's Claudio Marchisio had been sent off early in the second half of the Azzurri's final group game against Uruguay in 2014 and were fighting to escape the group. The fight turned ugly when Luis Suarez, who'd twice been suspended for biting incidents playing for Ajax and Liverpool and was supposedly on a mission to repair his public image in Brazil that tournament, sunk his teeth into Italian defender Giorgio Chiellini's shoulder. Despite Chiellini showing the referee the bite marks, he didn't penalise Suarez or Uruguay, who won a corner and scored the game's only and winning goal. Italy were eliminated, and despite Suarez getting banned for 9 international matches as a result, Uruguay progressed. Number 3. Suarez's handball. Of course, Suarez's image was tarnished for more than just his previous biting incidents. He'd enraged the entire country of Ghana 4 years prior when he'd become the bad guy by handling the ball on the goal line to prevent them from scoring in their quarter-final match against Uruguay. Justice was dealt more swiftly as he was immediately red-carded for the handball, but Ghana missed the resulting penalty, and their luck wasn't much better after extra time ended when Uruguay won 4-2 in the deciding shootout. Suarez was unapologetic in his role as pantomime villain, saying he'd made the best save of the tournament, further riling everyone who thought that though he'd been justly punished, his cheating went against the entire spirit of the sport. Number 2. Lampard's disallowed goal. England fans are still sore over this one. In 2010, a disastrous draw against the USA in the opening group game and the worst match of football that's ever been played against Algeria meant England finished second and faced Germany in their round of 16 game. England came back from 2-0 down with a goal in the 37th minute, and to the sound of vuvuzelas, Frank Lampard lofted the ball over Manuel Neuer from a scramble at the edge of the box, only to see the ball bounce over the line, but not counted by the referees as a goal. England came into the second half demoralised, and Germany ran out 4-1 winners. Bring on VAR. Number 1. The Hand of God goal. Maybe it's because I'm English, but England so often seems to be the butt of the World Cup controversial calls. Whereas in 2010 they were the victims of a disallowed goal, in 1986 they were the victims of a goal that should have been disallowed. Maradona's infamous Hand of God goal, so named to rub salt in the wounds of the English who watched 5'5" Maradona reach higher than 6'1" goalie Peter Shilton and knock the ball into the net with his fist, was allowed by the referee, who claimed not to have seen the infringement. But in case anybody forgot, he didn't need to cheat to put England to the sword. 4 minutes later, he dribbled around 5 English players and the goalkeeper to score what was dubbed the goal of the century. It was a bit of vengeance for the Argentines just 4 years after the Falklands War, and it was a historic injustice against England that went absolutely nowhere near making up for the historic injustices England has done around the world for the past several hundred years. Which of these moments is your most infuriatingly controversial, and what excuse will England find for underperforming this year? Let us know in the comments below, along with what other videos you'd like to see, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any as we ramp up to the World Cup. Thanks so much for watching, I'm Lloyd Mallison, and we'll see you soon.